chair right there. Now talk to me. Forget about it. Forget about that.
What are we doing?
Father and son talk.
And you're recording all of it?
Who's saying about the fletch?
Yeah, it's just different
Bring
system.
that ashtray over here.
Completely different system. Everything is top heavy.
That ash. Hold that ash up for the camera. Look at that, baby.
The investigation process is always a fun, long experience.
You know what though? Me and my buddies were talking one day. Because, you know, we talk at night. That's all we do. And they're complaining about work. Stress level. Oh, everything is you gotta be here, you gotta be there. Now we're on electronic logs. Alright?
So here.
Right. So it's talking to one of the other guys, and it's like, well, what would you rather be doing right now if you weren't doing this job? And my buddy Dave looks and he says, well, when you think about it, he goes, it's kind of fucked up. He says, we're sitting on our ass, we're in a truck, we're driving down the road with anything we want on the radio, and we got 3 guys talking in different states, and we're driving down the road talking all night for a living. It ain't so bad. You start thinking it's like, well, I'm not this dude out there picking fruit or stuff, breaking my back in the hot sun all day, which is a hard, back-breaking job where you ain't getting paid shit. Or I'm not flipping burgers at McDonald's, and it's like, so you know what? It's all mindset.
Honestly, I can't say I'm doing too bad. I mean, like I said, some days are much better than others. Some days are a lot worse than others. But
You're well compensated.
you know what? At the end of the day, okay, I can still walk. I'm not broken like a lot of other people.
Self-included.
I get paid pretty good.
Speaking of, I'm feeling okay now.
You know, and hey, pays good for just a high school diploma and some military, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not too many people even with a college degree can say they make that much money.
Well, I was just talking to over at that gave me the massage, right? Her name is Tracy. She's telling me, she says her son, she's got 2 sons. She drives from here all the ways to Texas once a month so she could see him play football. She stays for the night and comes back. She sees him once a month. He's 6'3", like 230 pounds. He's 13 years old. And she says, I don't know anything about football. She says, I just get worried about him playing and everything. I says, it depends what position. I says, like a running back's going to get the CT out. All that. And I says, what's he play? She says, all I know is it's a guard. I says, you know what? A kid that size, doing what he's doing, is guarding the quarterback. I says, he's probably pretty good. And she says her other son, he's 6'5". He's a big boy too at 15, 16. And his thing right now, he wants to join the Marines. Home? Now you can flick. Wow. Even mine, his humidor is well kept.
Yeah. You feel a little
Dude,
bit humid in there.
Dude, I could shop in there and I could buy all kind of stuff. But you know what? I can get a lot of that stuff half price. I like, okay. Whatever these cost, I get them for 1/3. This one I can't. This one is freaking expensive no matter what. So I'm dying to try one. If you're looking for a good cigar, and you don't know what to get, stick with a CAO.
Oh, I agree. Beautiful.
See, people think,
Very smooth.
yeah, but people think a dark cigar is going to be harsh. It's smoother. That's a Maduro. That's what I like. What's up, man? Yeah, so she said her kid wants to join the Marines. Oh, what he does now, he's a computer hacker. She says he does that and is all into computers. And I says, why do you want to join the Marines? Join the Air Force.
They all got it now.
Huh?
All of them got it now.
Yeah, and she says, you know what we just hacked into? That Greenboro Baptist Church. She says he hacked into their site and shut them down for 2 weeks.
Those guys are scary though. Westboro. Because they'll sue anybody and everybody. The pastor's daughter is actually an attorney for the ACLU.
You know she came up to Connecticut.
She's an ACLU attorney.
There was a soldier. He was killed in Afghanistan. He was being buried up in Connecticut, and I think it was up around Glastonbury. And they came up. So the Rat Pack, and I think the Outlaws joined them, because the Rat Pack had to get permission to form their club from the Outlaws. So the Outlaws all came down one day to the Rat Pack, and they told them, listen, we're just a bunch of older guys. We're not going to do anything. We're not infringing on your territory. We don't want to do anything. We're not trying to do anything like that. And they says, you know what? You guys are cool. We're okay. You got our permission. You're good here. So Rat Pack went up there, and there was a solid line. And then other bikers all across Connecticut, solid line. They couldn't get an inch near them. And the cops protected the clubs. You know, on Saturday mornings, and about 2 hours left, what I do is, it's my ritual. It's always a long night on Friday night. I usually go either to Syracuse or to Harrisburg, PA, and it's going to be 10 to 11 hours driving. So what I do is I go up 5 hours, and then I come back, and then I usually, that morning, I stop for breakfast. That's my treat. I'll stop, and I get something to eat, and then I get a nice large coffee, and then when I'm within 2 hours of home, I light up. I don't listen to news.
Well, lately,
Because you get crazy.
We've been doing the same thing at work lately.
You gotta listen to music.
Last couple nights, a bunch of us bring out a couple cheap cigars out of, after we lock down at 9 o'clock. We work out, a bunch of us go out there and we'll just have a cigar. Even if it's just a cheap backwood cigar, everybody just goes out there, has a cigar, and just...
You know, you could buy the packs. You could buy like packs of these 20-minute cigars. You know, like the small
yeah, it was a couple
backwoods.
of them. Yeah.
You can buy a cheaper pack of these. You know what? It's going to cost about $2 a cigar, but you're going to smoke a cigar, a good cigar. And like he said, 95 cents. You can get that little bag, and you can put your cigar in there. There you go. Sometimes you can slide them right off. That's exactly what I do, because now, look, it's nice all the way down.
Never thought about it like it would be that busy.
Not as busy as a marijuana store, though. Dude, that place, man. People are in and out and in and out. It's freaking crazy. What's up, man? That sounds like my pup. This is delicious. You already do. Wrap your label, right on the back. Your rating. Give yourself, I don't know, you want to make a 10-star rating? Put how many stars, make a little notation, smooth, put down how long it lasts. See, you want to get the right size cigar. That's why I figured you don't want to get something too big.
Yeah.
This is bigger than I would have liked, but to try the flathead,
Was it worth $1?
you want to get a Robusto. A Robusto is the size. Okay, look at a ring. They go by a ring gauge. Look at the thickness of mine to yours. This is about a 60. That's about a 50. I like a 50, and I like 6 inches long, 5.5 to 6 inches, and that's a Robusto. That'll give you about an hour. Those Churchills, oh jeez, oh check this out. One just sold. Winston Churchill, and he was doing some kind of treaty or something. He smoked the cigar halfway and he put it down. One of his aides took it and bagged it and put it away. And it stayed in that dude's family all these years. It just sold at Sotheby's at auction. $12,000 for a half a cigar from Winston Churchill. Think about this.
Yeah, see, I work with
You
that.
got Winston Churchill's DNA, right? Whoever that was. You got Winston Churchill's DNA.
No,
I can send you ours.
my buddy I work with, Joshua Galvan, he comes here almost all the time and buys us, a bunch of cigars. And it was funny because we were at work one time. We had this like Cuban drug lord at our place, and he sees Galvan smoking a cigar, and he looks and he's like, Galvan, he goes, how expensive is that cigar? And Galvan looks and he goes, $22. And
That's expensive.
Dude looks at Galvan and he goes, that's a trash garbage cigar. Dude looks and he goes, hey, I smoked Cubans all the time. And he goes, my cigar's no less than $100 a cigar.
He's smoking Evas and Monte Cristos.
Yeah, the guy, and it was funny because he was breaking it down. It was funny because, like, you swear the guy was like a cigar connoisseur, but he was like trying to show Galvan, like the whole time. Galvan's just like, Galvan's not one of those very talkative with the inmates. Doesn't know how to talk to them really well. And this dude's talking to him like, you can tell by the way you ash, the way your cigar burns. And, I mean, he was going into detail on everything, and he's like, and I watched it. You light it correctly, but not, not correctly. Like,
like even when you hit it, right? You want to wait like a minute between puffs, and you want to try to take one smooth puff. Sometimes you got to take a little one to get it going, but what happens is,
he was telling him
if you hit too much, you get it hot. Now here's the tricky point. Sometimes the way the leaf is, because they make them of all one long leaves. Sometimes at about this point, a not so good cigar is going to go out on you.
Well, see, and that's another thing he was telling him though too, like how you smoke it. He goes, the best way to inhale a cigar, he goes, is you pull it in with your mouth, but then you breathe in the oxygen with your nose, and then you push out. Smoother flavor. He goes, because everybody likes to go straight lung head. He goes, you always pull it in.
You don't want to.
He goes, you pull it in with your mouth, and then you breathe in through your nose, and then you push it out like that.
I'll tell you what, it's a whole learning experience. I sat down at this party. All these dudes, they were business owners and everything, and I was totally out of place. And it was Kayla's employer.
Hey, I know the feeling. I did that with me and Daisha one time. Went to one of her friends' New Year's parties. Dude, don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody was a government employee there, right?
Yep.
And I mean, it was cool, but like everybody there, right? All of them. Oh yeah. Hey, so what do you do? I work for the federal government. Bureau of Prisons. Oh, okay. So what are you like? What GS level are you? I'm a 7. Oh man, dude. These guys are all 11s and 12s. But you know, and their pay was about $130,000 a year compared to mine, you know, 53. It's like, wow, okay. Well,
They had to start somewhere, though.
But the funny thing is the only reason my pay is even close to some of them was because I get the law enforcement pay. But they also get Colorado Springs locality pay. I get Florence, which is nothing.
Right.
Florence is no locality pay. If I were to go under Colorado Springs locality pay, I'd get $13,000 a year extra. But unfortunately, when the Obama administration did that redrawing the lines, and you know, they redrew all the lines, right? Now I fall under Colorado Springs locality pay, but I don't get Colorado Springs locality pay.
That sucks. Well, I'm sitting with these guys.
I mean, I would have loved.
And all these guys are like business owners and everything. So there's one guy, I'm sitting there talking, and I was all alone. Everyone's in groups. They're all drinking scotch. The guy calls me over and sit next to him, and then we start talking something about politics. Next thing you know, it's like, okay, you're up my alley. Now we started talking. I fit right in. And this guy says, hey, you gotta excuse me. He says, we're all going down there to smoke. We can't smoke up here. And I says, okay. And he looks at me and he goes, too bad you didn't smoke cigars. I says, oh, I do. He says, oh, shit. He goes, then come on. I told him, well, I don't have one. He goes, don't worry about it. Come on down.
Don't take it easy, have fun.
Where are you now? So he tells me, he says, come on down. So I go down there, and he says, well, what do you want? He goes, he opened up the bag. He had all these rare cigars that I only heard about. So he says, I look, I says, damn, you got a ghost in there? And he says, yeah. He goes, why don't you try that? And I says, nah, man, I can't take. He goes, I got plenty. Freaking, so next thing I know, like, freaking, I'm smoking a ghost, right? It was like a $35 cigar. And it's like, wow. It was so cool.
Yeah.
You know what's nice?
It's amazing.
It's mid-October.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you get these guys where it's like they got that type of money, dude. I mean, like I said, dude, being with her friends that night, which was funny. The only cool thing was none of them had a college degree, really. All of them did certain different jobs in the military that I didn't do. I did infantry, okay? Pretty much your job is to just shoot somebody and have them shoot back at you. And one of the dudes in there, Dave, he did satellites. So he gets out. It's his government job doing satellites, right? Unbelievable money. No college degree, making about $130,000 a year. It's like, oh man, like somewhere down the road, dude, I screwed up. But yeah, he was. I mean, he said, and it was funny because I was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going back to school." I was like, "Oh." He goes, well, there's really not much higher he can go. You know what I mean? He's about as high as you're gonna get, really. But you know what I mean? He goes, "I'm bored."
No, my next door neighbor, they're both lawyers. She was a trial lawyer. She was at the top. She retired, and she decided to go back to school to get her doctorate. No reason whatsoever than just to go back to school. Between the both of them, they made $300,000 a year. Their house is about 1,000 square feet, and his gutters spring a little leak from 1951. It's up there with Bondo, fixes them. His lawnmower he found at the side of the road, fixed with other ones at the side of the road. Bicycle, same thing. Him and his wife, they walk miles. They walk 5 miles every night. We see them going out. They don't go out to eat. They go once a
Remember Eugene Aldefranzo?
Yes. Do you know he's still out there?
That guy's got to be about 90 years old.
120. He's still out there.
That guy was an ancient fossil, dude. When I was a kid living there.
He's still out there. And you know what he did now?
Huh.
He has a complete Spanish crew. right? So now he's the lawyer for everyone Hispanic in the area too. The guy's smart.
I'll tell you the one thing I do miss about home though, all the Italian last names.
Yeah.
You don't see that out here. I mean, in Pueblo you will. In Pueblo, everybody's got either Hispanic, Irish,
There's nothing to tell you. Listen, that regot last night,
Mm-hmm.
that regot is nothing like any regot I've ever used. Regot is supposed to be like cakey, right? Dry and cakey. That was all moist, but from the little bit of breadcrumbs and I sprinkled a little flour in there and the eggs, it came out good.
That sauce, by the way, was unbelievable.
If you're gonna get a marinara sauce,
That sauce was unbelievable, dude.
yeah, Victoria. If you're gonna get a marinara sauce for the house, use that one. That's probably one of the best ones you're gonna get. It's
See,
like
I came up with, I've been tinkering with sauce for a while now. I'm trying to make and add and take away a little bit of everything. And I think I've gotten my sauce now to exactly the way I like it. See, but I also like my sauce very, very thin. You know, some people like a thick sauce. But you remember on Dana, like that thick, chunky sauces? I never did. I always like a thin sauce.
Then start with. Instead of.
But see, what I did was at this time around, this last time,
you know what the whole combination
I used to do 50-50.
Yeah, but it's the
50
combination.
diced tomato, 50.
No, that's
But what I did this time around was just straight
whole tomatoes.
puree
That's
or paste.
Jackie's mother uses straight puree in it, and it'll be thicker. What I do is I do straight tomatoes, whole tomatoes. I throw them in the blender for like 1 second, and then I throw them in. Now you're going to have a lot of moisture, a lot of water in the sauce. But if you let it nice slow simmer, if you keep the top on, I put foil on my top. Yeah. If you keep it off a little bit, then you end up letting all that moisture cook off, and it depends how long you want it.
We'll see. And I
Thanks,
also,
brother.
Thank you, sir. Too. Yeah. See, I let mine simmer for. Usually, I will not
6 hours.
mind 5 to 6 hours at the minimum.
You know what sometimes me and Jackie would do?
I'd wake up early in the morning and start doing everything in the morning, like early in the morning. So I can let mine simmer for 10 hours if I could, you know. 7, 8 hours, whatever. That's a passion, dude. I love making sauce.
You know what's one of the best things to do? Make your meat the day before, because it's too much to do everything. But the thing is, okay, let's say you're making
that's
your
what I've done
meatballs.
is I prep the meatballs sometimes the night before because and I throw them in the garage, in the fridge in the garage.
Yeah, you get your meatballs and your sausage. But like, let's say you use, I don't know, 1/8 of a cup of oil, something like that in there, right? Make sure you keep that oil in there, because all that oil goes in the pan.
See, what I've been doing lately though is I've been I like to fry the meatballs a little bit, but lately I've been baking them, throw them in the oven and bake them for a little bit.
Doing raw.
It saves in time. Well, what I do is I bake them, but I only bake them about halfway.
You only want it brown on the outside.
Yeah, see, that's what I do, is I only bake the outside just a little bit, just so they, you know what I mean?
But see,
And then I let them sit in the
here's
sauce
the trick with that.
and boil.
If you
for the
bake
rest.
them, right, you're not letting the grease come out sometimes. Sometimes what I do is I just roll them around and I brown the outside. You know, my grandmother never put any meat.
But see, I don't like to. I like the grease to stay in them because it keeps the flavor.
You want it all to go in the sauce.
And it keeps my sauce. It keeps my meatballs soft too. You know. Now the only thing I've been doing is I use milk to soften them up a little bit.
Always do.
But I've been considering. The last time I used just eggs to soften them up, and it was unbelievable.
You want my combination?
Sure.
All right. Let's say you do 3 pounds of meat. For one, you want to get a mixture. You want to get
But I don't like to use breadcrumbs either.
pork, beef,
You know
and
what I
veal.
do? crackers, saltines. Crush up saltines, and I put them in there. That's where my salt now is in there, and it absorbs a little bit, but it doesn't, but you gotta crush them up really good.
Or if you have some old bread, just put it in the oven a little bit, let it burn. You know what Vicky
Make
does?
your own,
She makes
croutons, your own.
What I do is, if you could, you want a combination of beef, veal, and pork. So if you go to the store, go to Costco, right? Or if they got a BJ's, get a package of the meat. Get one that says meatloaf mixture. So you're done, right?
Costco.
What I do is,
by the way, steak. They should bought a steak one time from Costco. Dude,
fine.
honestly, it was by far the greatest steak I had ever had in my life. Nobody has ever even been able to come close to comparing. But then again, Daisha made chicken fried steak. Oh my god, dude, that was unbelievable what she made.
What I do is, I get, let's say 3 pounds of meat. For every pound of meat, 1 egg. And then let's say you got.
Well, see, and that's what I do. I usually do about half a pound of ground beef, half a pound of pork, ground pork, and then.
If you could find.
See, now here's the thing. I don't know. The veal, for some reason, I just didn't like it as much. In mine.
It has a little sweeter taste.
Yeah, and I didn't like it that way. So I've been doing it a certain way for a while now. But like I said, I think I nailed my sauce now. The only thing that didn't suck was last time I made my sauce, but a jalapeno, like I always do. And for some reason, it had a bit of a bite to it that I liked, but Daisha wasn't going to like the bite to it. And I never cut up the jalapeno. I just throw the whole jalapeno in there.
Right, but you're making a frat diablo. Why don't you try this? Okay, here's what I do. You get your meat mixture, whatever you want. You don't need to do 1 egg per pound of meat. And then when it's sitting in the pan, throw in how much you see in there, throw in roughly 1/3 breadcrumbs. Roughly. And you mix them up. And it's like you said, sometimes it's too dry. So moisten it up with milk. And then I just put in garlic powder, and I put in some oregano, salt, and pepper. That's it.
See, I use oregano, salt, and pepper.
I don't use oregano.
I use 1 bay leaf.
That goes in the sauce.
Right,
But what you do is, let's say your sauce is halfway done, 3/4 of the way done. Right? Take out, get yourself another pan. Now that one, put in all the hot peppers you want. This way you got yours and they got theirs. Because I like a Fra Diavolo sauce, and I'll put a bunch of different peppers in.
See, lately though, I've been staying away from a lot of the spicy foods because I get that horrible heartburn. Like, those canned raviolis?
Yeah.
Those, if I'm not taking omeprazole and I eat a can of those, I will almost double over. That's how bad it hurts. So lately,
You ever think you might have,
so if I take the omeprazole, I don't have any problems, but I have to take omeprazole. And unfortunately, that crap is expensive as hell. But Daisha buys it at Costco. Hey, $10, and you get like 100 pills.
Yep.
Whereas you go to King Soopers or Walmart, hey, 30 pills, that's $10 alone for just, no, not even 30, it's 14 pills. It's a 2-week dosage level for that.
It's not a medication.
But
It's what is it, over the counter?
Yeah, you can get it over the counter. I can actually, if I wanted to, I can get it from my doctor, and I can get a prescription of it.
Why don't you look on Vitacost.com?
Yeah.
Listen, Vitacost, and you order the L-lysine.
Yes.
That will take care of everything, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it clears everything up.
Yeah, see, I saved it in here, so next time I go to the license, so next time I go to the store, I can get some. I'll pick some up.
Yep.
Because I take that, I take a Centrum, well, store brand Centrum,
See the bag I take.
and then I take my, my other pill at night, my Celesta. But that one, dude, has been. I wake up feeling like I got hit by a car. I'm tired, but.
Can you break it in half?
Well, that's the thing is I'm taking a minimum dosage.
So it hit you.
So, and then they gave me some other pills like a phosphorus or something like that. Asia likes to call it the chill pill. And it's supposed to be like that pill that makes you feel like, after a long day, you sat down, you lit that cigar, and you had that beer. And you just feel like all your problems are gone. I sleep like a baby when I take that pill too. The only problem is like I said, I wake up feeling rough, but I've only been taking it now for a week and a half, not even. Actually, yeah, a week and a half, and feeling more calm. I feel more chill. It's
Good
getting
sleep.
along. I'm getting along with everybody a lot better now. It's something that I wanted to do. Feels good. It's calm.
Just even work, everything, you know what? Everything is about how you feel it. It's like at work, we got people that are just so upset and so crazy when work gets to them. And you know what? If you just view it like, you know what?
See, I don't do that anymore because I've got the seniority to not worry about any of that stuff. But then I took on the union steward position, and trying to steward for
Two stewards.
trying to steward for a lot of these people, man. But you get so many people who don't even want to pay a union bill. This other guy comes
I have
up.
no use for you.
Dude, this other guy comes up to me, right? Because he screwed up. Wasn't paying attention, screwing around, doing what he wasn't supposed to. And he got his ass beat. They beat him for like 4 minutes with locks in the sock. And he comes up to me. And this guy doesn't like me because me and him don't vibe too well because he doesn't do anything. So I kind of gets pissed off because I give him crap about it. I tell him, you don't do anything. Not to be an ass, but you're borderline worthless. You're one of those guys who just shows up. You don't do anything. Now, he comes up to me and he goes, hey, so, you're still a steward? Yeah, why? Hey, I need to sign up for the union. Oh, why? What's up? Oh, well, then he tries to explain it, and I was like, all right, listen. I was like, I'll sign you up for the union. I was like, but, excuse me, I was like, depending on what happens with this, I was like,